In order to turn the rudder, the steering gear has to create a certain torque, or turning effect, and transmit it through the rudder stock. The torque requirement is given by Classification Society rules to ensure safe maneuverability of the ship. The factors that affect the torque requirement are the size and shape of the rudder, and the speed of the ship. The rudder arrangement is also exposed to these forces. Fore and aft horizontal forces created by the propeller and waves. Vertical forces caused by the weight of components and ship movement. Horizontal forces on the sides of the rudder when turning. The size of these forces depends upon the size of rudder and also the rudder arrangement. Click the buttons to get more information about different rudder arrangements. Spade rudder, semi-spade rudder, flap rudder. This type is the most commonly used rudder for ferries and smaller boats. This type of rudder gives good maneuverability, depending on the available rudder angle and the rudder profile. This rudder benefits from a clean flow of water. It is held in place only by bearings within the hull. This can create high bending forces in the rudder stock. This type of rudder, sometimes called a semi-balanced rudder, is most commonly used for large ships. This rudder requires less torque, but is not as effective as a spade rudder of the same size. The water flow to the rudder is spoilt by the rudder horn, but the horn allows a pintle bearing to be positioned so as to reduce bending of the rudder stock. This type of rudder is used when good maneuverability is required. The rear fin exaggerates the movement of the rudder, making the rudder more effective. The flap is normally operated by a slide mechanism outside the hull using the movement of the main rudder. No extra connection from the steering gear room is required. The torque needed to turn the rudder depends on the size and shape of the rudder and the speed of the ship. Rudders are subjected to fore and aft, horizontal or side forces, and vertical forces. Spade rudders give good maneuverability and are used for ferries and smaller ships. Semi-spade rudders need less torque and are used for large ships. Flap rudders can be used where very good maneuverability is needed. Here is a reminder of what we have covered in this chapter.